Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Shadowlands Alpha, and we're looking at the Retribution Paladin, something that is very much on my radar as something I might be maining going forward. I have had so much fun with this thing. I cannot wait to see it when it's got some actual gear behind it and some proper stats. We are using these pre-made characters, and we are limited to level 53 for now, which means we are missing out on some talents and stuff that we will unlock along the way. The first thing you're going to notice, of course, is that we are having a lot more spells. Yes, we're having a lot more spells. They've added so much in here. It was quite the opposite of BFA. It actually blew my mind and how overwhelming it was that instead of BFA, when I logged into the Paladin for the first time, and I was like, where is everything? This time it was like, I need more keybinds. Oh my god. As I started to slide things back in to the toolkit. We now have access to tools that are for Holy Paladins and for Prop Paladins. We've got like Shield of the Righteous and stuff. Very, very nice. And we're also able to now take advantage of various different auras, from Devotion Aura, Concentration Aura, Crusader Aura for that mount speed, and of course Retribution Aura, which will give you Avenging Wrath. It will give you wings should somebody in your party or raid die. So if you could take advantage of somebody who's about to die or sacrifice themselves, you can actually get a DPS gain out of it. Very, very nice. One of the more notable changes, and it's a good change, is Wake of Ashes becoming baseline. You just have that as part of your toolkit now, which frees up a talent row so you can add extra things in. So you almost get 2 for 1, whereas in BFA you were kind of locked into that, and I imagine most people, when they log into Shadowlands with their Ret Paladins, won't see a dramatic difference in gameplay, but what you will find is a lot more options because of the baseline additions like that. So that gives you a lot of freedom, and Hammer of Wrath and things like that adding into the toolkit. One thing I think is most notable to take away from here is that the gameplay was not slow or crippled because of the low gear that we got. It was very common for me to say during the BFA alpha is that this class sucks right now, maybe haste will fix it. We said that about a number of classes, including the Ret Paladin. Not the case. I played a relatively proc-heavy build, but the procs were very consistent, meaning that I wasn't having this weird downtime that I got in the early days of BFA where I just couldn't do anything and it felt like a classic Ret Paladin. Not the case at all. I was actually in full flow all the time, making decisions from the get-go. So it's more a case of I can't wait to see what this thing does when it has a lot of gear, which is quite the opposite to the situation we've been in the past. Very much like that. I will give shouts because somebody's going to ask me about it for sure, is the extra ability you see over there, which is Divine Toll. This is the Bastion Covenant ability. We will be doing a further look at all the Covenant abilities when they're all out. We only have access to this one. And the Paladin's Divine Toll does judge 5 targets, up to 5 targets around you. It will drop judgment on them. Now, a couple of things to say about this. The animation is a little weak. The judgment animation can't really be seen while you're in melee. I would love something like a mini execution sentence effect, or perhaps just a larger judgment effect so I can actually take advantage of it, because it's a very meaty spell. The problem is it gets lost in the mire because it just does this little burst of AoE and you don't really see anything happening. So it feels like often you're pressing a button and you don't see anything actually happen. You know it's happened, but you don't actually see anything. Compare that to Divine Storm or Wake of Ashes or something like that, then you definitely know you've hit those buttons. I would definitely urge Blizzard to maybe give this a special Bastion type effect, which is something they're very big on for immersion, or do something just to give it a little bit more weight so that people can see it. You compare it to Protection throwing those shields everywhere, which is what they do with their Divine Toll, and it's not really comparable. Overall, this class is just rock solid. I loved the full hybrid play. I felt our heals were far more effective. I was helping people, buffing people, DPSing, rock solid. I was able to put out Extreme Burst. You run in, you drop a Divine Toll, you judge everything. Gives you 5 Holy Power. Remember, Holy Power is back. Then you're dropping Divine Storms. You're able to Wake of Ashes, which is now giving you 3 Holy Power instead of 5, so you're not just overcapping, which is very frustrating. And then you're able to AoE even more. Very, very, very cool. Liked all aspects of this. There was very little time I felt like this might not be for me. In fact, quite the opposite. I felt like I could main this character and I would be very, very, very happy. Ret Paladin looking solid. We will revisit it as the levels increase. The only talents they're missing is Sense Undead, Ret Aura rank 2, and Hammer of Wrath rank 2. So they're not going to gain a new ability while leveling, but we still want to get the complete picture once we actually hit level 60. So we'll wait for that moment. Thank you so much for listening, guys. I'll see you in the next one.